Hi guys, hold on for a second. Before we proceed to the video, I have something very important to tell you. Professor Jon V. Kofas has published his new book in collaboration with Little French Media, and the title of the book is Neoliberalism, Inequality, and Authoritarianism. This book details how neoliberalism impacts the geopolitical economy in the 21st century. You can buy it from Amazon, and the link is in the description. Thank you. Now let's proceed to the video.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brief overview of an upcoming session on race relations in America. The reason for this particular session, I have addressed this issue from a different perspective in previous sessions. The reason is because yesterday, the U.S. Supreme Court denied the delay of execution of Marcellus Williams, an inmate in the state of Missouri, accused of a capital crime. This man was black. Um, he was executed. The execution rate and the rate of imprisonment based on race in America, when one looks at the statistics, actually betrays the racism of the entire American institutional structure as well as culture, whether it's in the criminal justice system or in the field of education or in any domain. This is rather ironic because right now, this year, one of the candidates for president, the Democratic candidate, is a woman who is African American, identifies as African American. She's half Indian, half African American, identifies as African American. This woman of color. Very ironic that in 2024 we have a situation uh, of institutional racism across the board with the criminal justice system, and I'm going to give some statistics. I'm going to start with that. That betrays the rhetoric about an open society, about democracy, about equality, about social justice. It also betrays the hollow rhetoric about Black History Month and celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King's holiday. All of that is window dressing against the reality of the daily lives of American citizens of color. Now, let's look at the statistics. The population of African Americans is estimated just under 13%. Just under 13%. The population that is in prisons is the highest population, and the executions betray the fact that the imprisonment rate, incarceration rate, and the execution rate and life sentences are in fact heavily racialized. They're based on race. 48%, although 48% of all those who are serving life sentences in American prisons, although the population of blacks is 13%, 48% of all those serving life sentences are blacks. 39% of those in prison are blacks. 40% of all those executed, like Marcellus Williams last night, are blacks. So while the population is just below 13%, the statistics of the FBI and the Federal Bureau of Prisons indicate that the American criminal justice system, from the police, and I think the entire world knows how the police in the United States historically, not just now, historically, including during the Obama administration, who had an attorney general who was black, by the way, including right now when a black woman is running for president. But historically, and to this day, racism runs through the American institutional system, and the criminal justice system is, as one Harvard professor put it, in analyzing how the world views white police officers either shooting blacks or abusing them, beating them up, as part of a continuation of the repression from the legacy of the slave era in America. So this is a very important topic. I will be discussing this at length. Again, the Marcellus Williams execution and the denial by the Supreme Court to delay the execution because there was enough evidence calling for a delay in the execution until the evidence was collected, more evidence was collected and presented. I'll say a couple of more things about this. It is no accident, by the way, that there is a correlation between the race of the individual in America and the quality of healthcare and the quality of educational systems, even the quality of the infrastructure. I lived in a number of cities in America, and I have seen firsthand large blocks of neighborhoods where predominantly African American, streets not taken care of, not paved like those in white neighborhoods, white middle class neighborhoods, parks. So what we have is the entire infrastructure in black neighborhoods. And those of you who live in the United States and have seen these neighborhoods, whether it's on the south side and west side of Chicago, whether it's in Watts, in LA, whether it's in Washington, D.C. on the east and the south side. So you know that this is the reality. Segregation is a reality, although illegal, but it is a reality because the institutional structure has an underlying current of racism, and so does the culture. Just recently, this week, a university professor, I believe from the University of Pennsylvania, was dismissed after the outcries of students as well as staff for against this woman for going on a right-wing television program and unleashing. This is a university professor. Unfortunately, someone in my own field, um, a university professor who went and unleashed race-based statements. Finally, the university caved to pressure. Initially, they didn't want to do anything, but they caved to pressure. So this is the reality of racism in America. I invite you to join me for the longer video, which is going to analyze the socioeconomic status of blacks, the criminal justice system. It will analyze the culture, and which is itself based on race, by the way. The hegemonic culture in America is race based. So I invite you to look at that video and write comments and ask questions. I thank you, and I invite you again to look at the video, and please subscribe to this channel. This is Asad Alim's channel, and it is educational. Thank you very much.